Hello everyone! Today I'm going to start building my version of Peter Pan's Flight, which you saw in the previous episode. And first thing I need to do, because the carousel is taking up a lot of system resources, we're going to come over here and turn it off. So that will get my activity meter down where I can do a little bit of work. Alright, so the first thing we've got to do, we've got to put in the toy box door. That's under the gameplay toys. We're going to slide this right under here up against the tower, just like that. And we're also going to need a locator for when we come back. And I'm going to place this about here. We want to make sure that little blue dot is facing out away from the door, and it is. So that's really good. Alright, on the toy box door, we'll open the logic menu, go into the properties. For the destination, we're going to create a new toy box. Empty toy box. And I'm going to give this a label. We're going to call it Peter Pan's Flight. And I'm typing this in on my Wii U screen. There we go. And we'll save. That creates the toy box and links it to this door. And the rest of these properties are fine. Now, when we come back, we want them to come to this locator. And we've already added a locator over here, coming from Tomorrowland. The destination tag on that is number 1. And we had added another locator over here coming from Frontierland. That was number 2. So Peter Pan's Flight Ride is going to be number 3. So under the properties for the locator, we'll set the door destination tag to 3. And eventually we'll hook this up from the other toy box when we put the toy box door in. Alright, so that creates what we need in this toy box to be able to access Peter Pan's Flight from where we want it. So at this point I'm going to save my toy box, and then I'm going to go through that toy box door, and I'll meet you on the other side in just a moment. Okay, here we are in the new toy box. Before we start building, let's talk about the layout for this world. Here's a shot of Neverland from the Peter Pan movie. This is what we're basing our toy box on. And this is what I want my island to look like. I want it to have this basic shape as closely as I can make it in the toy box. Hook's map provides the names for all of the major locations in Neverland. The Indian Camp is on the left, Mermaid Lagoon is on the right, Cannibal Cove is right in the middle, and Crocodile Creek flows into it from the mountain at the center of the island. According to the map, Skull Rock is on the back side of the island, but I chose to move that closer to Mermaid Lagoon to keep the toy box as compact as possible. Hangman's Tree, which is Pan's hideout, does not appear on this map, and so I went online to try to find a map that shows where Hangman's Tree is, and I found several conflicting maps. First, there's this official lithograph, which shows Pan's hideout near Mermaid Lagoon. And that seems to fit with the start of the movie when Tinkerbell flies to the island for the first time. The map from the Disney Solitaire game also places it there. And by the way, I like the rope bridge over Crocodile Creek in this picture, so I included that in my version of Neverland as well. But this map, and some others, show Hangman's Tree on the back side of the island. And that actually fits with the movie too, because at the end of the movie, Hook's ship is moored on the back side of the island, and Pan flies the ship over the Indian camp when he leaves Neverland. The only good reason that I can think that Hook would be moored back there is if it's closer to Pan's hideout, which he had gone ashore to destroy. So that's where I put Pan's hideout in my toy box, and that adds something on the back side of the island which it desperately needs. Now for today's episode, we're going to start our build with Cannibal Cove. I'm going to place the water around for the toy box, kind of frame it in, and then we'll build Cannibal Cove. And this is where Hook's ship is moored when Peter and the kids first arrive in Neverland. Here's a more close-up shot. It's a round body of water. There's a sandy beach that runs around the cove and a thick jungle with trees. Crocodile Creek, empties into the cove in the back, and you can see there are some rocky cliffs back there too. So this is what we're going to attempt to build. So the first thing we're going to need is our sky dome, and I have my second star to the right power disc in hand. I'll place that on my base, and that will change the sky to the Peter Pan sky. And I've got the audio muted, so that's why you're not hearing that. And I didn't put down a boom box because I didn't need it with the audio muted. But anyway, if we take a look at the toy box, you'll notice the starting pad has us pointing in that direction. And the island is over there on the right, Neverland. So we're actually going to build in this direction. So Cannibal Cove will sit here. The mountain will sit back a little further. The Indian camp will be over this way. Mermaid Lagoon will be over that way. So we're going to frame in the water first. And you'll notice I have another little piece of terrain up there that I placed ahead of time. But I'm going to go ahead and set Alien Planet to be my theme for the water. And we'll set that on this little piece of terrain too. I dropped this ahead of time just to prevent me from having to scroll too much in the terrain list. But this is the piece that you see there. And again, we'll set that to be our theme. And I am not going to keep this piece of terrain, but I'm going to pick this up for right now and put it down. Go over to the right 4. And we're going to use this thinner piece of terrain. We're going to drop this right here like that. And we'll delete the thicker piece. So let's pick this up and put it down. And get to my mapping here. Alright, so we're going to put one over here, basically replacing the block we started with. Another one here. This piece is going to sit right in there, if I can get it to do that. Put another one up here like this. And just for spacing purposes, excuse me, we'll grab this block, stick it down right here like that. We're going to pick this piece back up and put it down to get us to that part of the drawer. And then this piece is going to sit in here like this. 2, 3. And then 1, 2, 3 over. And 1. And we'll put this piece here, another one up there. And you'll notice I'm not filling in the entire island because I don't really need to. The island's going to sit on top of all of this, so there's no need to put terrain there. Alright, we'll come back over here and pick this piece up. And actually, rather than that, just to make sure we get the spacing right, let's go ahead and pick up this little corner wedge. Get us back to that part of the drawer. Put this right up here on the corner, just like that. Alright, so now we'll pick this piece up, put it back, Bring this over here just like this. And another piece in here like this. We're going to place this one in here, in that little corner. And then a couple of these there. This is going to sit underneath Mermaid Lagoon. And then we're going to come over here. And, yeah, just like that. Sorry. We're going to put 4 of these here. Oops. Like that. Okay. And now we'll go ahead and just add the edging in around the perimeter of the toy box. And we don't want to add in edging everywhere, but we need to put enough in to where the edge doesn't look blocky. So this is going to help soften the inside corners. So that'll sit in there like that. And I think that's it for those. And then we're going to grab this, this piece here. And between this piece and the one next to it here, we'll put these around the perimeter of the toy box. Just make this look a little bit nicer. That's going to sit in there like that. And you don't want to just run a row of those down the side because that would look really repetitive. Mixing it up a little bit and having some of these in there will help it not look so cookie cutter. And again, to save memory, you can leave some gaps. That's not a bad thing. So instead of putting 2 of those in there, you could put 1. So, like that. Just kind of making your way around the perimeter of the toy box. And I think this looks so much better than what I had before, where it was just square and looked unfinished. Having the extra memory to do this is really good. So as I mentioned in the playthrough video, I had actually made this a little bit smaller. Actually, I completely rebuilt the toy box and did that from scratch so that I could build something a little bit more compact that would not take up as much memory. Missed a corner spot up here. I knew there was one more. And you can spread these out just a little bit. This is the back side of the island after all, so we don't need to go too crazy here, but so this is starting to look pretty good. Almost all the way around the perimeter here. I'll give you a look at it in just a moment. There we go. All right, so there is Neverland, or at least the foundation for it. And that looks pretty good. And that is most of the water pieces. There is one more piece that we're going to put in. And because we're right here, let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to pick one of these little pieces up here. And we're just going to drop this out over this direction somewhere. Not exactly sure yet where that's going to go. We'll figure that out in another episode or two. Okay, so there's the water. All right, so on the front corner here, we're actually going to start right on the corner of this up in here and on the corner of that piece. We're going to use this piece here. This is going to be for our beach. And let me get my screen grab here. We're going to drop this down, and we're going to change the style on this to be Lilo's Tropical Paradise. This is from Stitch's Tropical Rescue. We're going to use this for our beach theme. And the beach around Cannibal Cove in my toy box is going to be a little wider, a lot wider actually, than it is in Neverland. And my main reason for doing that is twofold. I could use this block and make the beach thinner, but that means you're going to have more terrain seams around the perimeter of the beach, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but it's going to take more terrain pieces, and that's going to use up a little bit extra memory. Secondly, to fill in all this space, you're going to have to put in more trees, and that's definitely going to take up a lot of extra memory, so I don't want to do that. I need to save memory for the games and things that I want to do, and so that's why we're going to hold off on making the beach narrow like it was in the movie. Alright, so let's put this around the perimeter. Like that. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Let me grab my screenshot there. So the same thing, we're going to put this in the corner up here. Run a row of these down. Like that. Okay. So there's the cove framed in. But this looks really, really square. So we're going to soften that up a little bit. But while we're right here, let's go ahead and fill in the rest of the beach. The main block part of it. So we're going to put 3 in here like this. And we're going to put this one in here. Run this down. Trying to get to my shot here. Here we go. How far down do I need to go? We need to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that. Okay. All right, and then on this side, okay, so we have that one there. Place the next one over here like this. This one will sit here in this corner. Another one up here on this end. Place that one there and that one there. Okay. All right. And then we're going to need the Peter Pan terrain texture. So I'm going to come out of the editor. And we're going to put the Neverland power disc on the base. I do not want to switch my entire world to that theme. But we will go back in the editor now and drop a piece of terrain right in here. And I'm going to change the theme on this to use the Neverland theme. This will be for the grass underneath the woods or the jungle. And same thing over here. Okay, and again you can see my beach is a lot wider. If you have a memory on your system, you might consider putting the smaller squares in here. 2 small ones. You can slide this over and put a second large one in here and then 2 small ones here and make the beach thinner using these pieces. But that's the way I'm going to do it on mine. Alright, so we'll pick this up and put it down, and we need to change our theme back. So back to Lilo's Tropical Paradise. Alright, and let's pick this piece up over here to get us back to that part of the drawer. And looking for this round terrain corner. Okay. And then this is just going to start building a nice edge around this to kind of soften it so it doesn't look so square. And I forgot to put a little square piece in there, so I'll come back and do that momentarily. Alright, over on the other side, over here, we're going to place this here like that. We're going to add some square pieces back through here too, but let me just drop this in there just to kind of frame that in a little bit. This will be the entrance to Crocodile Creek. And then we come back out over here. And let's see, yeah, we're going to put this here like that. Fit that on the front. And then we're going to put some other pieces in here. Let's put this down here though. We can mix things up and use this one if we like. Put that down here. This piece is going to sit right on the back like that. Okay, so you have those curved pieces. You've also got some angled pieces. And those can kind of help make this look a little more interesting as well. Alright, so there is the shape of the lagoon, which is pretty good. The back corner here, though, is still kind of square. So to soften that up, let's pick this piece back up and put it down. We'll keep going to the right, and we'll use this banked curve, which has a nice beach look to it. That really helps that not look so square. So that looks really good. Alright, and then let's frame in the entrance here for Crocodile Creek. Alright, trying to get here. Okay, so we need 1, 2, 3. Sorry, I had to look for my screen grabs. We're going to put another one over here. Put one of these little wedges back here. We'll place that there, like that. And then on the other side, put 2 of those in there like that. Followed by that. And you don't have to put one of these on the front. That texture there looks perfectly fine. So you can kind of save a little bit of memory. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. I think I'm going to move this starting pad. We're going to bring this way back out over here and just kind of stick it up here on the corner of the beach for right now. Okay, that's starting to look pretty good. It's got a good shape. We need to put this piece in here. And trying to find my screen grab here. All right. So I want to pick this up, swing this around, and I'm going to drop this right here like that. And let's slide this block out. That's going to leave a gap there, but we're actually going to cover that up. So that's not going to be a problem. Okay. And I think, let's see how we're doing on time. Oh, we're getting close to the end. All right, well, I think that's going to be about all we can do for today. So we've got Crocodile Cove framed in. We don't have any plants or anything yet. We're going to save that, put all the plants in at the end. And so next time, we're going to frame in Crocodile Creek and the cliffs here leading up to the mountain. Before you go, please hit the like button if you enjoyed my video today, and leave a comment to let me know what you think of my design for Neverland and my build for Cannibal Cove. I know it's not done yet, but I'd like to know what you think of the shape of it and what you might do different. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel or follow me on my blog if you haven't done that already. That's all for me today. Take care.